Okay, let's jump right in. Think about this. Just a couple of seasons back, you had this NBA star, right? Big market, huge pressure cooker. He's dealing with injuries, immense scrutiny, even admitting he was self-medicating just to cope.
Yeah, it sounds like a tough spot, definitely.
Exactly. Now, fast forward. Same guy. Totally different scene. Minnesota. He's not just playing well. He's like the culture guy for a team with championship hopes. Yeah. Just signed a big extension, 3 years, $100 million.
And everyone's calling it a steal, right? A huge value contract.
Precisely. He went from battling, what did he call it, a million different things in New York,
to being this efficient foundational piece in Minnesota. We're talking about Julius Randle, of course.
Yes, Julius Randle. It's quite the transformation. Okay, let's unpack this. Welcome to Court and Gridiron Report. This is where we dive deep into the latest in the NBA and NCAA football, everything from the big games, the trades, draft buzz, you name it. We break down the strategies, the stories shaping the games today.
That's right. And today, we're zeroing in on that blockbuster trade. Karl Anthony Towns to the Knicks, Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo heading to the Timberwolves.
The big question. Was this one of those rare win-win deals? We've got the stats on Randle's efficiency jump, some surprising insights into why Minnesota felt like a breath of fresh air for him.
And how his whole vibe, his commitment, impacts the Timberwolves' title chances. It's a fascinating case study.
It really is. And to really get why Minnesota worked, you first have to understand what he was leaving behind in New York, that weight.
Oh, absolutely. 5 seasons with the Knicks. Turbulent is a good word for it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was the engine, wasn't he? He basically dragged that franchise back to relevance.
He did. All 3 of his All-Star nods came there. Won Most Improved Player in 2021. He was the guy.
Being the guy in New York, that's just different pressure. It's relentless.
Yeah, the microscope is intense. He said it himself, didn't he? Like,
yeah.
You're not just battling, trying to win. You're battling a million different things.
That quote says so much. It's not just about the game. It's the media, the fans, the expectations. It's constant.
And it wasn't just affecting him on the court. It spilled over, right?
Right.
His family felt it too.
Yeah, the sources mentioned his wife calling out some media members, calling them ringleaders for the negativity. That shows you how personal and intense it got.
Mm-hmm. It really paints a picture of the environment. The external stuff was rough.
And that external pressure definitely compounded the internal struggles he was having.
Which brings us to the injuries and the mental side. That dislocated shoulder in January 24, needing surgery, missing the playoffs again.
Another setback, yeah. Physically brutal.
But he also opened up about the mental toll, which you don't always hear, feeling very frustrated and angry.
And the self-medication admission. Turning to marijuana, feeling distant, not present at home, that's incredibly candid.
It really is. It speaks volumes about just how much he was struggling under that weight.
And while all this is happening, there's a shift inside the team itself.
Right. Jalen Brunson steps up big time.
Exactly. Brunson becomes the superstar, gets named captain. Randle, who had been the focal point dealing with injuries and all this pressure, suddenly isn't the #1 option anymore.
That had to be tough.
Yeah.
Created a kind of, well, you called it a negative feedback loop.
Precisely. It just adds another layer of difficulty to an already challenging situation.
So the trade happens, sends him to Minnesota. His first reaction?
Pain. Like, I can't believe this got taken from me. He'd put so much into rebuilding the Knicks, you know?
Understandable. But that feeling didn't last long.
Apparently not. Almost immediately, that pain turned into profound relief, a breath of fresh air, he called it.
Interesting. So Minnesota just clicked for him personally.
It seems so. He said it was more my speed, which is interesting, right? The counter-narrative to needing a huge coastal market.
Yeah, he's from Texas originally.
Okay.
Like the space, the land, the outdoors aspect. He was apparently blown away by Minneapolis and the suburbs.
He got past that it's just cold stereotype pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's a big deal when a player of his caliber basically says, hey, this mid-market city offers a better quality of life for me.
Totally. It challenges the old assumptions. Environment matters. Mental well-being matters.
Okay, but here's the detail that really jumped out at me from the sources. It sounds minor, but I think it says everything.
Oh, what's that?
His reaction to the food scene in Minnesota, he kept bringing it up.
Ha! Yeah, that was surprising, wasn't it? Raving about the local restaurants.
Like naming specific places, Red Cow, Red Rabbit, Gianni's Steakhouse, coming from New York City, the food capital, and he's genuinely excited about Minnesota steak.
It sounds funny, but you're right. It's actually really telling. It's a proxy for his overall happiness, his comfort level.
Exactly. In New York, every word is parsed, analyzed. In Minnesota, he feels free to just Talk about enjoying a good meal. Simple pleasures.
It signals that shift, doesn't it? Away from that constant, intense professional pressure towards just finding some peace, feeling settled.
And that peace, that mental clarity, it clearly translated onto the basketball court.
Absolutely. The biggest change was his role. He wasn't the high usage guy anymore, the one everything ran through.
He became more of a complementary piece next to Anthony Edwards.
An essential, high-level complementary piece. That's the key distinction. Still vital, but in a different way.
That must require a big adjustment, though. Giving up the ball more, shedding those old habits like that bully ball isolation style.
It's a huge adjustment for an all-star, but he seemed to embrace it. He realized he didn't need to dominate the ball to dominate the game.
So less pounding the ball, more moving without it, setting screens, finding spots within the offense.
Exactly. Playing off the ball, finding chances through actions. He said he learned not to feel thirsty all the time for shots or touches.
That breath of fresh air really changed his whole approach. So how does the data back this up? Show us the proof.
Okay, yeah, the numbers are pretty compelling. It's a classic less is more scenario.
Lay it out for us.
All right. First, his usage rate, basically how many possessions he ends while he's on the floor, dropped significantly. Went from 28.7% with the Knicks down to 24.6% with the Wolves.
Okay, so fewer possessions ending with him.
Right. But his efficiency shot up, his effective field goal percentage, EFG%, which accounts for the extra value of threes, climbed from .525 to .542. That's a really nice jump.
Better shot selection, better positions.
Seems like it. And his decision-making improved, too. His assist ratio went up, and maybe more importantly, his assist-to-turnover ratio got much better. Went from 1.46 to 1.65, making better plays, fewer mistakes.
Trading volume for efficiency. That's the story there.
Precisely. Quality over quantity. And it wasn't just about his own numbers. It was about fitting with the team, especially Ant.
Yeah, tell us about that dynamic with Anthony Edwards. He took on a mentorship role.
Immediately, he saw that competitiveness in Edwards, even compared him to Kobe Bryant, his own idol. That's high praise.
And that leadership rubbed off.
Seems like it. Coach Finch called him a consummate worker, said his impact was immeasurable. There's that great anecdote Finch shared. Randle showing up super early for workouts hours before practice.
And Edwards started doing it too?
Yeah, Finch said, Ant follows him now. That right there, that's culture setting in action.
Okay, let's pull back to the trade itself. The sources call it a win-win. Why did it work so well for both teams?
It really boils down to fit. Synergy over just stacking talent. Both teams got exactly what they needed.
Let's start with Minnesota. What do they gain besides Randle?
Well, Randle himself was seen as a better fit next to Rudy Gobert than Karl Anthony Towns was. Randle's physicality, his ability to create in the paint, it complements Gobert's defense and rim running.
Okay, a better front court pairing. What else?
Financially, it gave them more flexibility down the line. And crucially, they also snagged a future first-round pick from Detroit in the deal. Helps refill the coffers after the Gobert trade.
That's interesting. So the Knicks gave up Towns, got Randle and DiVincenzo back. But Minnesota also got a pick.
Well, the pick came via Detroit, likely facilitated as part of the larger trade structure. But yes, Minnesota came away with Randle, DiVincenzo, and a future first. Smart asset management.
And from New York's side, why give up Randle, their former centerpiece?
They consolidated for Towns. His elite shooting career, 40% from three, was seen as the perfect fit next to Jalen Brunson's driving ability. Spreads the floor beautifully.
Opens things up for Brunson. Makes sense.
It instantly made the Knicks look like real contenders in the East. They traded Randle's volume and creation burden for Towns' high-level, low-usage floor spacing.
Then Minnesota locks Randle up with that extension. 3 years, $100 million, about $33 million a year. That feels like really good value for a player like him now.
Absolutely. Widely seen as a team-friendly deal, especially given his performance and improved efficiency.
But what about that player option in the third year? Why structure it like that?
It's smart for both sides, really.
Yeah.
For the Wolves, it creates a clear 2-year window to go all in with this core. Maximize their shot right now.
And for Randle?
He gets financial security, guaranteed money, but also flexibility. After 2 years, he can assess where the team is, what the salary cap looks like, and decide whether to opt in or test free agency again. It's an exit ramp if needed.
Okay, so the fit is great. The stats are up. The contract is team-friendly. The culture seems strong. Is it all smooth sailing in Minnesota now? any potential issues.
Well, nothing's ever perfect, right? The analysts cited in the sources raise a couple of points. One is just the overall ceiling of this roster. Can they actually beat the elite teams like, say, OKC, who gave Randle trouble in the playoffs by really packing the paint?
That's a fair question. Playoff defenses are different.
And there's always the question of Randle's well-known inconsistency, as one source put it. Can he maintain this level if the pressure ramps up again, even in a better environment? We'll see.
And the contract, while good value, is still movable if things don't work out down the line.
Exactly. It gives them options. It's a good asset, but it's still an asset.
Still, the overall story here is pretty remarkable. Randle shedding that heaviest jersey in the NBA, finding peace, finding his fit.
And transforming his game in the process by being less thirsty, as he put it. It's about the environment being just as critical as the talent itself.
That change definitely gives Minnesota maybe their best shot ever at contending seriously. So the big question we leave you with is this. Can this happier, more efficient Julius Randle be the guy, the culture setter, who finally helps bring a championship to Minnesota?
That's what they're betting $100 million on. It'll be fascinating to watch.
You've been listening to Court and Gridiron Report, where Jordan and Jamie break down the stories and highlights shaping basketball and football. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.